This time I just wanted to very briefly mention nasal breathing. Why? Because it's mid-July in Central Florida. And oh my goodness, is it hot out. And I've noticed that the hotter it gets, the more I see people mouth breathing because they're hot. I'm so hot. Right? But that actually makes us hotter. You know why? We're not dogs, and we're not designed to cool ourselves through our mouth. We have other means of cooling ourselves. We have sweat glands, and when we use our respiratory system the way it is properly designed, it actually will help to regulate our temperature better. You could say that nose breathing is the equivalent of biological air conditioning. You see, when we breathe in through the nose, the air passes through the little cilia in the nose, the little hairs, and that will, if it's hot, make it a little cooler. And if it's cold, that air will make the air a little bit warmer, more like body temperature, just going through the nose hairs. When we breathe in through the nose, not is it a straight line into the lungs. No, it has to go through the nasal concha where the air kind of does like a curly Q thing before it then descending into the bronchial airway. So it almost like slows down the air and gives it a little spin before it enters the sensitive, delicate tissues of the lung passageways. So it's kind of like air conditioning, and that does a lot for us. When we breathe in through the mouth, whether it's because we're hot or because we're snoring, or because we're exercising so hard that we can no longer maintain respiration through the nose, so we start breathing through the mouth. These are all unhealthy for us, and modern medical research shows that. Breathing through the nose is a healthier way to breathe. And just very, very briefly, I'm going to tell you, because there's so many things that mouth breathing has been linked to. I'm just going to tell you the few that stand out that I recall from research. So breathing through the mouth chronically, unaware of it, whether it's every day, reading email, or running to stay healthy, or because you're snoring at night. If there is a chronic mouth breathing condition, modern medical research that this can very likely result in ADHD. Do your kids sleep with their mouths open? It can result in a softening of the sinus cavities and the soft palate of the mouth. So where you can visibly see over time the mouth structure and the bone structure cave into the face. What that going back in does, it results in allergies, respiratory problems, chewing problems, dental problems, more sleep apnea. If you weren't already breathing through the mouth at night, if breathing through the mouth sometimes during the day because of exercising or whatever reason, you start to breathe through the mouth at night, now we have a problem that has a name called sleep apnea. Even though breathing through the mouth through the day does not have a diagnosed name, although some have proposed email apnea. Because sometimes emails are shocking and make us start breathing through the mouth. Even though it doesn't have a name, doesn't mean it's not bad for us. So ideally throughout our entire form, and maybe you've heard other teachers say this, and I emphasize it too, we keep the teeth together so that the tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth behind the two front teeth, and the rest of the tongue is in a bowl. That itself helps the lower dantian to expand. And I talked about that in the open and closed video on the biomechanics of breathing. But it also ensures that if our mouth is shut and the tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, the chances of us breathing through the mouth are way diminished. We're more likely to breathe through the nose, which is the healthiest way to breathe. Nose breathing is air conditioning in lots of different ways it affects us when we breathe through the mouth. Lots of ways that are not healthy. Allergies, digestive problems have been linked to breathing through the mouth. It makes sense because this is the beginning of the digestive tract. We're not supposed to be breathing through it. We're supposed to be talking and eating through it. And if we have to, thank goodness there's a backup system for breathing. That's the mouth. And some of us have damaged our faces so much and restructured those bones, or others have for us, that we can't breathe through the nose so well. We have to breathe through the mouth, and we develop all kinds of problems because of that mouth breathing. So let's think about that as we practice. For me, every time I come back to the breath and the conscious awareness of breathing, I always feel better. Sometimes the moving doesn't quite do it. That's why I'm so grateful for Soon Style and the long form, especially where in the beginning I might be having more of a chest-centered breath, less of a belly breath. I might have a shorter breath or a less coherent breath in the beginning, but by the time I get to the end of the 73, by the time I come back to just standing still, oh man, my breath is even and calm, and I feel even and calm no matter what emotion I may have had prior to that. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Looking forward to our next lesson.